She dumped him on the sidewalk like trash, humiliated him in front of the world because he couldn't afford champagne. But what she didn't know was that the man she left in rags could buy the company she worked for in cash. This story will keep you glued till the end. Before we begin, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because the next 10 minutes could change how you see life, love, and loyalty forever. One story at a time, welcome to Snap Twist Stories. No one at the party knew that Ethan used to own the building. The five-star hotel shimmered in gold and crystal, and Ethan, in his faded blazer and dusty shoes, stuck out like a sore thumb. He didn't belong there. Not anymore. He had arrived with the last of his dignity, only to see her, shining like a diamond, on the arm of a man whose watch alone cost more than Ethan's annual rent. Her name was Alyssa, and she was everything he once believed in, until she became the very thing he couldn't afford. Rewind just 9 months earlier. Ethan and Alyssa had been inseparable. She loved his simplicity, or so she claimed. They shared dollar pizza in the park, counted stars instead of bills, and dreamed aloud. Alyssa was a junior marketing exec. Ethan, a quiet guy running a small tech repair shop. He fixed laptops in the back of his dusty garage and barely made rent. But his heart? Richer than most billionaires. But things changed. Alyssa got promoted. She started hanging out with glossy people, corporate types who wore tailored suits and spoke only in profit margins. Ethan, still in oil-stained jeans, no longer fit her lifestyle. She grew embarrassed, first subtly, then openly. She mocked his car, criticized his $20 watch, laughed when he said he couldn't make it to a $300 per plate gala. The final blow came on their anniversary. Ethan had saved for weeks to book a modest rooftop restaurant overlooking the river. He had written her a letter, honest, raw, filled, with dreams and a velvet ring box in his pocket, but Alyssa never showed. Instead, she sent a text. "I can't keep pretending, Ethan. I need more than love. I need a future." He stared at the screen for hours. The waiter cleared the untouched dinner. Ethan paid the bill with his heart shattered and hope broken. He didn't reply, didn't chase. Instead, he vanished. But what no one knew, not Alyssa, not even Ethan's closest friends, was the secret Ethan carried. Ethan Gray wasn't just a tech repair guy. He was also the ghost founder behind ByteLoop, a revolutionary app that silently powered half the world's device security. Years ago, he had co-founded the company with 2 MIT buddies but signed away public rights in exchange for controlling patents anonymously. When ByteLoop went global, Ethan became a silent billionaire, hidden in plain sight. Why stay hidden? Because Ethan had grown up with wolves in suits. His father had been chewed up by corporate greed. Ethan swore he'd never let money define him, or the people around him. So he lived simply, let the world believe he was average. Until Alyssa. Her betrayal awakened something inside him, not bitterness, not revenge, but clarity. While Alyssa chased champagne boys and boardroom fame, Ethan built silently. He bought controlling stakes in multiple tech companies under a shell firm, invested in real estate, and built a philanthropic foundation that paid off thousands of student loans. Anonymously. His dusty garage? Gone. Now replaced by a hidden tech lab in the mountains, disguised as a retreat center. Then, out of nowhere, Ethan was invited to speak at a future tech summit. It was private, elite, and televised globally. Alyssa watched. The stream from her luxury office, coffee in hand, ready to mock another nerd. But when the host said, "Please welcome Ethan Gray, the architect behind ByteLoop," her coffee cup dropped. The camera panned to a sharply dressed Ethan, no longer hidden. His voice was calm, confident, piercing. He talked about innovation, integrity, and being underestimated. The world went silent, then erupted. Twitter exploded. LinkedIn crowned him the ghost billionaire. Forbes placed him on the cover within 48 hours. Alyssa called him again and again. He didn't respond. Her texts turned from flirty to desperate. "Ethan, can we talk?" "I made a mistake. I didn't know who you really were." But Ethan had known all along, not just who she was, but who she wasn't. 6 months passed. Ethan built a tech school for underprivileged kids. One night, while reviewing applications, he saw a familiar name, Alyssa Martin. She had lost her job in a corporate reshuffle, her high-rise apartment due to unpaid rent, and was now applying for a marketing position at his education firm. Her resume was sharp, but her cover letter, full of humility he'd never seen before. Ethan stared at it for hours. Something inside him cracked, not with longing, but with growth. He called her in for an interview. She walked in, nervous, confused to see him. "I didn't know this was your company," she said, eyes glassy. Ethan smiled calmly. "It is. Please sit." She stumbled through the interview, trying to act professional, trying to pretend this wasn't heartbreaking. Finally, she broke. "I was wrong, Ethan. About everything. I didn't know what mattered. I thought love wasn't enough." Ethan didn't scold, didn't gloat. Just leaned in and said, "You were right. Love isn't enough. But loyalty is." He didn't hire her, but he did something else. He funded a program in her name, the Alyssa Grant for Second Chances. She later found out and cried in the quiet of her rented room. Ethan moved on. Eventually, he met someone, a woman who ran a shelter for runaway kids. She didn't care for watches or titles, only values. They married 2 years later. Simple ceremony, sunset vows. As for Alyssa, she rebuilt herself, slowly, painfully, and maybe in time she found love again. But she never forgot the man she left, who turned out to be everything she ever wanted, and more. If this story made you think twice about what really matters, hit that subscribe button now. Because on this channel, we don't just tell stories. We change minds. One twist at a time. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who was right? Who was wrong? And remember, sometimes the richest hearts wear the poorest shoes.